once again, I'm coming at this from a spiritual perspective. This is all not something that should have gone down to begin with. But we have the judge, and he's playing the patriotic music. He's shutting down the prosecutor. He's acting very much, like I said, like he's got the Trump flag in the back, so that it's projected that way to 2022. That's when the shift happens, right? This is the thing. This is the whole point of the story, was that it was unfair. Like Nebuchadnezzar, in an instant, his kingdom and everything was ripped from him. Then you got the crazy old man, Nabonidus, who historically follows, who turns out to be the mad king who has dementia, and he has a very short period of time. And now we have the guy coming back in the power. And this is why in the picture I had him overlooking the whole thing, as if he's maybe, part of the story. I don't know. But it seems like that's what's going on. The names, Derek, the names have meaning, right? We talked about the names. In the show, I talked about the names, like, because all names have meaning, right? So you got Jesus, you got Mary, you got Joseph. You put the names together. Joseph means God is added. Mary means man's rebellion. Jesus means salvation. God is added to man's rebellion, salvation. Names have meaning. They're very important. The whole show I talk about that, but their names alone is what got me to talk about this, because Rittenhouse, get this, belonging to the family of those in the swamp. That's literally what his last name means, to the people of the swamp. Rittenhouse. Kyle means to walk the straight and narrow path, the straight and the narrow. The people of the swamp are told to walk the straight and narrow. Then you got the other guy, you got Gage, you got the paramedic. All this stuff is just nutty. And his name is the pledge, Gage, and then Grosskreutz of the Great Cross. So you have the pledge that we've taken to the Great Cross to walk the straight and narrow path. It was given to the people of the swamp, but what are they doing with it? What are they doing with it? Because people are going to celebrate now. Yay! We can take our guns and we can make sure this doesn't happen again. And that's exactly what I said was going to happen. I said it was going to get so bad, we're going to get so sick of it that our day's going to come. And when the day comes, everybody's going to rally behind and they're going to take their stand. And that's what I worry would happen. That's what I worry.
That's what the CNN piece was about. Let me go back to that here really quick, because now we've got you, and it sounds like first of all, your video is perfect now and your audio is perfect. So we're all set here.
Was it after I said, let's shake it off and we'll start fresh? Because I actually did like a little prayer thing. I did. I was like, come on, Lord. This has got to be fun for people. I don't know whether you've seen this yet, but I put here on Twitter, I had retweeted a tweet here. Tucker Carlson reveals that his team was working with Rittenhouse on a documentary throughout the entire trial. Wow.
That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very nice.
That's going to completely push this narrative. So you see where this is going to go, because let's go back to this CNN piece and listen to this for a minute.
Imagine if every single person in America did that. Imagine if you call for
that's what they want,
or just black folks to be armed and go out on the streets.
That's what they want.
And, do what they think, justice, take it back. Remember, and what they did to you and slavery, whatever, go and take things and do. Imagine if people were condoning that. All
right. Settle down. Hey, I'm going to pull something up, but keep talking, because this is going to blow your mind.
Okay. So now check this out. Let's listen to this guy. So here's the crazy part. See, this is what I'm saying. There's a whole different kind of setup going on here, because they're talking about this being vigilantism. And if anybody actually watched the trial, this wasn't, like I said, vigilantism. He wasn't going out there actually trying to go after people. They came after him simply because he looked different and he was carrying a weapon rather than being BLM. So when you're in that circumstance, there's no question anybody that watches the video, whether or not he should or should not have been there, is irrelevant. That's where you get to make a judgment and go,
this is set up, people. I hope they get it. They get that this is being set up, right? So they know that we're not watching this and saying, oh, yeah, hey, he's right. This isn't great. What's going on? Or, hey, he's right. And that young man, what an upstanding. People are calling him a savior in my chat.
Oh, yeah. It's
he's a savior. He's a Christian.
And I'm just telling you.
And God bless him. I'm glad he's okay. 17, he's a kid.
This is the Barrabas part. And I'm not saying that Kyle Rittenhouse is Barrabas. I'm saying that that's his action and how people are reacting. They want the rebellion. They want it. They say, "Oh, I'm a Christian." They don't understand the gravity of that. They don't, they all wish upon it right up until people are being murdered on their own streets. They have no idea what they're coming into this with.
I don't want anybody to get murdered on the streets, but I want you to do me a favor. Can you put me full screen? I'm going to show you something, and this is going to blow your mind. It's not going to blow your mind. You already know this. It's going to blow people's mind. Okay, so here is what was just handed down, a judgment call. Okay, so here we have. Let me put it over. There you go. That's the Economist magazine, right? Cover the world in 2015. Okay, so we have that. Look right over here. I just did a show all about Marxism, communism. Here we are. On one side, what do we have?
We've got the cross, Christ.
And then hang on a second. Let me see if I can get this over here. And what do we got on the other side? What do we got there? Oh, we got communism.
Oh, yeah.
We got sides. So we got two sides here. Two sides. It's a setup. You know what the tower is? And I'm not into any of this stuff before you get goofy. I'm just saying I looked this up. If they're going to put it out there, I want to see what they're saying that it means. A total quick cataclysmic change, a disruption. And who's behind it? Who's under it? What does MAGA mean again? Anybody remember what MAGA means? The great magician. MAGA. In Satanism, it's like the highest. In Satanism, it's like the highest. In witchcraft, it's like, I mean, these are like, the word, ironically, it's an acronym, MAGA, but the fact that, the magicians, the magi, it all comes from, this is all strange. It's all strange to me. And I tell you, when he's back in power and everybody feels like, oh, finally we're vindicated, that's when The Handmaid's Tale begins. Just so you know. This is when Handmaid's Tale begins. Oh gosh.
Well, let's listen to this. So very quickly, let me show you this. Now that's really interesting. What you were showing there, that's interesting. See all of these cards, but this is where I've constantly said, if you don't recognize Trump is part of this, whether or not he's orchestrating any of it.
Right. He's definitely a part of it.
He's a lead character. This is why it's almost impossible, folks, for us to even have a conversation about these kinds of things. It's impossible for us to have this conversation sometimes because, first of all, just in the chat, just by the title, people are projecting what they think we're going to say.
Right.
And it's mind-blowing. We're not saying that Kyle Rittenhouse isn't a hero. He might be a hero to you.
Maybe.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying that
did he save anybody?
I'm not saying
he may have.
Who knows?
Maybe
but the reality is the very specific situations that were being addressed. It was very, very easy to see. Look, we send out police every single day into dangerous situations. They say he shouldn't have gone out there into a dangerous situation and put himself.
Police do.
Well, police do that every single day, right?
Very good point.
They put themselves in that dangerous situation and they shoot people in self-defense. Go ahead and try to grab a cop's gun and see what he does.
Yep, not good.
See what he does.
Not good.
See, and so, from my perspective, I can tell you right now, I didn't do any of that, but they put my ass away. I didn't even touch a human being, right? So was I defending myself? Of course. But in California, it doesn't matter. It matters in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And these people, they're done with all of that, right? Their place is completely
I think everybody's done, to be honest. I think everybody's sort of done. I think that's the whole idea. I mean, okay, so
the justice system, how this is going to look. Let's watch this really quick because this is interesting. Not that one. This one. Oh, not that one. This one.
And it sends a horrible message to this country, Leo.
Thank you for allowing me to respond to that. He's an idiot, and I say that respectfully. He's an idiot. For him to be in a position of power and to basically discard this verdict.
Let me tell you exactly what's happening here. This is Leo Terrell. Leo Terrell is a civil rights attorney and was a Democrat his entire life. Didn't become a Republican and re-register as a Republican until Trump. And Leo Terrell has never, ever been a friend of Republicans, ever. He's a talk radio host also in Los Angeles. But what he's saying here is Bill de Blasio, so a person of in authority,
right,
is saying that this is a grave miscarriage of justice. This is exactly what our system is designed to do. So here's my point. They are destroying even the justice system. They're going to make it bad. This is just part of the grand design. Look, this is the Great Reset. Do we not all understand that? Who's running?
But I want to the upsetting of the Great Reset. That's what I'm going with now. It's like, I know it's happening. I know, but it's gonna be upset. The Great Reset's gonna be upset. You watch and see.
But by who? But by who? See,
so not by me, not by man.
Well, this is my whole point. They've already set this out. Mm-hmm. They've already put these things in design. This is the whole point. This is why Christ would say, he goes, there will be wars and rumors of wars, right? So where's it going to come from? But there will be wars happening, period. No.
And other stuff.
And he also said, let your hearts not be troubled, that all of these things must come to pass, but it's not yet the end.
Yeah. Right.
This isn't the end. This isn't the real day yet, but that's coming. So my point is that there are so many different avenues that they're going, but primarily destroying the justice system, and and complete disregard for people, for what their heart is. Listen to this. This is Kyle Rittenhouse's attorney, really quick. I want to get your take on this, Jacob. Listen, This is what he's saying about Kyle Rittenhouse, and it's you can't deny what's going on. Let's forget about the politics. People treat these people, even the victims in this, like they're slime and scum. Oh, this guy was a pedophile. This was that. And all of that stuff is not productive. All of it. I'm not saying any of it is. And again, you know my position, the narrow gate. Don't pick a side. Stop picking sides, but recognize the slime of the enemy, because we're watching him work, and we're watching how this divide and conquer strategy is taking place, because they are dividing this specifically for conquering. So listen to what he says about Kyle, and I want to get your opinion on this.
I like the music.
Life the best he can. I think eventually some anonymity will come back to it. I don't think he'll continue to live in this area. I think it's too dangerous. He's had 24-hour security since this happened. We're thankful that the judge protected his address. Everybody in this case, and when I say that, I mean prosecution, defense. To me, it's scary how many death threats we've had. I was answering my phone on the way back from court in Kenosha. My office isn't that far. After their death threat.
Oh, that makes me mad.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Makes me mad.
Makes you mad at
Makes me so mad. I just want to go out there and get the other side.
You just want to go out there and find Barrabas, right?
This poor kid, this poor young man got involved in this, and he was called for this moment in time. He's a main player, and God orchestrates that he gets to be that player. He probably had good intentions. I don't know the man's heart. Dummy. I would never, my children, never, not God. I don't teach my children to do that. I said, you don't, regardless of what's going on. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. That's what people are saying. It's not what people are saying. It's what you're being told and you're believing. They're believing that this behavior is acceptable. It is not acceptable. It is not acceptable to carry a gun seeking to harm someone. If you're carrying a gun and you're thinking, I may need to use this, you're seeking to harm someone on both sides. Neither of them brought guns. Neither of them listened to the nonsense with the sappy music or the nonsense with Anderson Cooper. If they didn't, neither of them listen to this, we would be a very happy family, because we're all cut from the same cord, a very happy family. But this has been set up. I've said this, you've said this. It's been set up so that you're going to applaud your demise, supposedly. That's what they say. But there's part of me that hopes, because see, let me tell you something. When all of this is supposedly righted from the left side, or when it's all righted, and we have all of these people back in power again, and everybody's going to breathe like, okay, we're going to make this great again. And when that happens, I'm going to be very torn up because I'm going to be like, what do I do now? Do I tell everybody? Do I tell everybody now that, and then my novel really becomes important, Derek. But but there's part of me that's like, well, Lord, there was part of me that was like, well, Lord, maybe you could use them, maybe you could use, until I heard General Flynn talking about his 7-fold raise of ministry and the ascended masters in the doomsday cult prayer.
Yeah, how's that? Hey, but let me
that doesn't help. That doesn't help me.
This comment. I'm going to bring this comment up on the screen. You can see this.
I can answer that one.
Yeah. This is the most common thing that people bring up with regards to Christ, when saying that Christ would condone going out there and killing somebody. First of all, let's put this into context. He has thousands of followers, right? Thousands of them. He has 12 apostles, disciples at the time. One's under his discipline. And now he says, if go and sell your cloak and buy 2 swords. They said, we have 2, Lord. And he said, that is enough. So what kind of idiot would send out his followers with 2 swords? You're going to lose, and all of you are going to die, because you're going to walk up to that fight and be fighting the Romans, because that's exactly the example that people will use. You have to understand, what is the sword? The sword is the word. What is the word? I guarantee you, in order for him to send out his apostles and to be talking about how the Torah had been tainted, and that the law was being abused by the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the Roman rulers, and all of those people were abusing it. So take the sword. What is the sword today? If I said, hey, pick up your sword, it would be this, right? You're going to go out there and go, here's the law that you say you honor, and let me show you how much you're all a hypocrite. This is the sword. Bring the sword. And by the way, having swords are
22.
And having a couple swords, here's another variation that you could look at. Having a couple swords while you're out there.
I'm pulling something up. Once I get this, we're going to be having some fun. I just like to prove things, but go on, keep going.
Okay. But having a sword when you're walking through the woods and you're, chopping down some vines, or you're climbing a hill, or you need to cut something, or you're going to be attacked by some animal, you're out there crossing these country lands at that time. If you want to think about it, I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's not a sword, everybody. It's a large knife that is used for killing animals. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, it's for if you're on the run. The word transliteration, I don't know how to pronounce this. Mahiyara. Let
me look.
It's a large knife used for. It is Strong's. It is, hang on a second. This ad keeps popping up. I can't get rid of the ad. Okay, well, there you go. At least you can see that. I got the ad out of the way, but you can see, a large knife that is used for killing animals. Okay? Now, so there's a very
share your screen if you're on a PC, you can also share your screen, so you can go to a browser and you can share it.
That is way too advanced for me, Derek. Come on.
So did you see Real Deep Earthwatch? He commented, he said, or do you think that I cannot now pray to my Father and he will provide me with more than 12 legions of angels? Again, so
right. Very true. Now, can I say something about that?
Of course.
Because I don't think, because I love BP. He's awesome. His show is awesome. He's been doing a great job lately. So Jesus said this thing, which everybody teaches wrong, when he was actually, okay, so first of all, let's deal with the sword issue, okay? There's like a bunch of them, and he knew that he was about to be arrested. He knew this is what was going down. He said, okay, so now guess what? I'm going to have to go. You're going to go in hiding. So that's important to us now. That's significant to us now. We're going to get into Barrabas. All this is happening right now. That's the reason why I talked about all this on the show. And when people brought up that one passage, which, by the way, later, what happens? So he ends up getting pulled out of there. When he's getting pulled out of there, what happens? One of them cuts the ear of the guard. which is the one that was there to take him away, cart him away. You don't have your passport. All right. And what do they do? They're gonna, well, once again, religious ideas kill the truth of God. So how we hear God, the right ear would be hearing the truth of God. So his action of violence kept him from hearing the truth of God. And it took Christ to come over and show love and compassion to someone who would be an enemy, an adversary, to give that hearing back to him, which is what happened. So the sword it was never go buy your sword, we're going to go kill people. No, it's a knife, a large knife used for, butchering animals. So when you're on a run, you're going to hunt, you can get along with a sword. You can. I mean, not a sword, a knife. They used to also carry these little curved blades too, sometimes just to hack through stuff, getting through. But that's not the point. Like Derek was saying, the real sword that comes out of Christ's mouth is a double-edged sword, and it is your words. Take the S off and you put it on the front. But so he gets arrested, and after he heals the guard, heals the one that they used the sword on. Wait a second. I thought that you told everybody to go buy swords so that when they come, we could defend ourselves and make sure that they didn't take our business away. Christ didn't say that. He said, leave your business. Follow me. Follow peace. He said, leave it behind. If you're going to try to go and save your life, you're going to lose it, right? But if you lose your life, you're going to save it. It's the idea of you got to follow and trust God. God is going to avenge. God is going to lead through. So the legions of angels. So what happens is he gets arrested, okay? And then they want him dead. They want him dead. They're all like, they're letting him dead. We want him down. We don't want to hear him anymore because he's a threat to the system. Didn't even have his own church. Isn't that interesting? I don't have my church. You don't got a church, right? Threat to the system, no, because that's their game. That's where they make their money from. And you're telling me we don't need to pay temple tax? Come on.
I pay tax.
He sits there. Okay, well there you go. I pay taxes. I pay taxes.
Well,
I don't cheat.
Well, property tax. That's a temple tax.
I do. Yeah, I don't cheat either because I render on to Caesar as they will. I do. So the legions of angels
possibly can. They're coming for you.
So the legions of angels. This is a great one. You're going to love this, BP. So guy comes over to him, Pontius Pilate. His wife had been dreaming to let this guy go. They didn't listen to the dreams. You got to listen to the dreams. And Pilate, he says, look, my kingdom, hear me out. My kingdom is not of this world. My kingdom is not like this world. In this world, if someone's burning down buildings in a town over and people there, you should go help. I might help too. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I'm not saying he wasn't noble. I'm saying, spiritually speaking, this is what Christ is saying. I'm not good enough to loose his shoe, right? I'm not good enough. I went across the street and I'm not going to say I brought a bat or anything. I didn't, My point is, I'm not Christ. Christ says we're supposed to love, we're supposed to forgive. So he says, my kingdom is not of this world. In this world, you can cheer now, call somebody a hero for killing people. And they were bad people, right? A lot of them were bad people. I'm celebrating this man. They're going to celebrate him. My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, I'd be celebrating right there with you. I'd be getting a Rittenhouse bumper sticker, right? He says, if it were, let me tell you what would happen. I'd have legions of my angels come down and they would mess you up. But guess what? My kingdom's not of this world. So that's not going to happen. People take scripture and it's taught in such an ugly way because the devil comes as an angel of light and he says, this is how it is. Look at Jesus, the one that tells you to love. And he says, look, if my kingdom were here, he'd be eating your bowels right now. That's what my angel be doing. They'd be gutting you. It's not what he said. He says, my kingdom is not of this world. If it were, I'd be doing that, but I'm not doing it. What am I doing? I don't raise my voice and I'm going and I'm laying my life down for everybody else. I'm sacrificing my life for others. I'm going to let my body and my life be a living testimony to love, to the God of love. No one is going to get anywhere by hating. I'm telling you. So there you have it. I think that we've just done away with a couple of the whole Jesus wants people to go and,
Yeah, he doesn't. Hey, I can tell you right now, because the last thing that you want to do is follow what the enemy is trying to accomplish. First of all, this is 100% a distraction. But at the same time, everybody on this channel that's ever followed me on this channel knows that we're being set up, because if all of you, any of you believe that they want to reduce the population of the world, I think that the elite, the cabals, have stated that they would like to do so, or that it's a very, very big concern.
Yeah, they
so
have.
How do they do that and keep the blood off their hands? That's all you have to think about. How do they do that and keep the blood off their hands? Allow you to kill each other. That's what they're trying to do. But yes, this is also a distraction to something much, much larger. The distraction for what's larger. Right.
So
Some
sad.
other trials are going on, some other things that are taking place. What is happening behind the scenes? You've got Fauci on the run. People are starting in very large numbers to figure out the scam that has been perpetrated upon the people, and that has continued to be.
It's the whole thing is horrible, man.
That it's not real doesn't mean that it's not real.
Right. It's real.
So please don't say that or don't think that we think that none of these things are real. Do we believe there's a virus? Yes, there is. What are they doing with it? How are they orchestrating things around it? What and why? Different whole story.
Well, let's
talk about those details here.
Let's talk about the spiritual ramifications then, because we can. What coronavirus? The virus of the crown. It's always about Christ. It's always about the world trying to consume and destroy Christ. Comirnaty, Comirnaty, or whatever is the name of it. I saw comir, to consume, nati in Latin, the birth of the Lord. This is the moment when Christ in you is being birthed in the world. So what are they doing? The dragon floods the earth with lies, because the devil, the father of all lies, all that comes out of his mouth is a lie. So if the dragon is flooding the earth, the dragon is flooding the earth with lies. Such treacherous lies and such horrific lies that it hopes that the virgin, the maid that was crowned with the 12 stars, that, I think I may even have it somewhere. The September 23rd sign. I have it somewhere here. I printed up because I talk about it so often. That the pregnancy of the possibility of Christ, the day of the Lord is at hand. The day of the Lord is at hand. We've had all of these signs, all of these, even the blood moon itself. The time from that blood moon to the longest eclipse was 1,211 days, right? From the two eclipses, the total solar eclipses that I talked about that make the X over the United States, 1,211 days, right smack dab in between them, December 14th, which was the very first day that thing comes out. Now, guess what that very first day is with this right here, 666 Nation, that day, first day, the children were getting it in Israel. And that's the last plague. And once again, we're talking spiritually, because God forbid something terrible happens. God forbid people start. God forbid. God forbid. Just by the way, Ethan just had the virus of the crown, beat it. Thank God. It was scary for me. People, when I even say that he has it, they're like, how dare you say that? I'm never watching you again. I'm thinking, you the same person I answer your emails and help you. It's like people are so triggered because, once again, the flood, they're trying to consume Christ. What does Christ do? Christ is long-suffering. Are you long-suffering, audience? Christ is patient. Christ doesn't hold. This is what love is. Love is patient. It's kind. It's long-suffering. It endures. It doesn't hold past wrongs against you. So it's not going to say, Derek, I'm not going to be your friend because you said something that I don't agree with. That's out of here. I forget about the years I'm not going to say that I love talking to Derek and Melia because some people think that they believe something that's a little different. So some people say that about me too. The flood of lies. They're trying to consume the birth of the Lord and keep it from coming into this world. So it's ironic because you have the names, people of the swamp. They're right there. They want Barrabas. That's the next part of the story. So he says, I'll bring my legions, BP Earthwatch, all of a sudden, right there, boom, puts that out, like as if it was on cue. What do they say? It was the custom at the time to bring out two prisoners, right? It was you know what? I think I even have it because I pulled it up. It was the custom to bring out to release somebody. who's in prison. And if you don't mind, you know what? I can read this to you if you want. Now, it was the governor's custom at the festival to release a prisoner chosen by the crowd. Who does the crowd want? Do they want the Jesus that won't carry an AR-15? You know, do they want that? Or do they want the one that's, you know, those jerks, look what they're doing. They're terrible. I don't like them because my news network tells me to not like them. And the other ones are like, we got to burn it down because my news network tells me that they're bad. It's just, so what does the crowd want? At the time, they had a well-known prisoner whose name was Jesus. They're both named Jesus. Jesus Barrabas. I just did a show about Jesus Barrabas. So when the crowd was gathered, Pilate asked them, which one do you want to release? Jesus Barrabas or Jesus, who is called the Messiah? Do you want Jesus Barrabas, the revolutionary, the one that'll shoot down some really bad people, right? While giving the old 666 okay sign. Did you guys see those pictures with Rittenhouse with the 666? He did it too. They tried to turn it into like some kind of a terrible power thing. But they're all in on it.
They say it's white supremacist to do that. I mean, you know, and
I used to think it
but they
was
also
okay until I realized it was 666, and we've all been tricked.
Yeah. And then they also say it's cabal, but it's also white supremacist. It's like, it's kind of, you know, when you're in media and they tell you, when people are training you to do media and you're doing media training, when I was at Microsoft, I had hours and hours and hours and hours of training for media to go out there and have a conversation, you know, with the press or whatever, and how to bridge your conversation and do all of those things. I had all of that. One of the things they teach you is don't have your hands flat down by your side. So they're always talking about that. So if you do this with your hands and you hold them during a speech,
you got to be careful.
Like that,
yeah, you got to be careful.
Gosh, all of a sudden you're Illuminati, right? But this is the crazy thing. So now, again, everybody can accuse everybody of everything today.
I know.
The accuser is alive. It's incredible. You're a racist. It's amazing that
you're
the vast majority of the media had portrayed this like this guy went out and shot 3 black people.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He shot 3 white people.
Right.
But yet the media still portrays it that way. Twitter, people have been just bashed all over Twitter. So they create that narrative. And then that's alive in people's minds because they want to go out and fight. And people want to go out there and defend themselves. They want to feel like they're doing something to help our situation. This is the whole point. This is why it is the distraction and why I say do not participate, because they want you to go to war. They want you fighting with people and they want you scared of everything. And you know what? The opposite of fear is not bravery. The opposite of fear is love.
Mm-hmm.
When you
fear,
there's
torment.
Scared. When you have love, you're not scared of it. I'm not scared of anything. Right. Nothing scares me. Not death. Nobody. I'm not worried that somebody's going to come up and jump over the fence and burn the house down. And
I don't like scary movies.
All those weapons to protect myself from what?
Mm-hmm. The boogeyman. I don't like scary movies.
To the point where people are jumping over our fence and they're rushing us, to steal our food and to kill us. It doesn't matter. What are you going to do? Hold them off for 10 minutes? It doesn't matter. They are going to continue this agenda.
But they're probably not going to do it too. They're probably, let's be real, right? They're probably not going to do it too. Like, so if a majority of people think this is ridiculous, like if everybody in my town stops listening to the 6 organization, the 6 corporations that rule everything, if they stop listening to the 666 nation, no one will be attacking anybody. No one will be hurting anybody. We'll all be getting along, But when you're ruled by a system that wants you to not be, your own person or your own, being able to. When you're ruled, you're a slave. You're a slave, and the best way to keep people in slavery is to keep them scared. Maybe as long as they're going to defund the police. They're going to defund the police. Look what's happening now. Look, very small part of the world. And it was
scared. Keep them stupid.
Well, yeah, of course.
What I mean by stupid is following some agenda that they've allowed you to participate in when we've got much bigger things going on. Right.
So the crowd,
the whole plan. Let me ask you this much. I'll ask this question to the audience. If China and Russia tomorrow somehow collectively attacked the United States, would you give a rat's ass about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial? If we had Chinese troops on our shores and we're completely defenseless because we've allowed it to happen. Allowed it.
So what are we going to do?
Kyle?
What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We got to stop being so scared. Listen, now you got me all worried about the Chinese coming in. Come on.
Why would you need to be worried about the Chinese and Russians? I mean, look, the Chinese.
Well, you just said they may come in.
Well, they've made it's clear that they're going to take back Taiwan.
I know.
Okay.
No,
and if you know what that means, I mean, there's a whole lot more of that. But I mean, if you were
I know it's going to be a nightmare.
Wouldn't you do it right now when we're all completely occupied with stupid crap like this? Of course.
Well,
setting us up. We're being set up.
I think something else is going to be very, very disruptive. And then I think we'll see that happen. I really do. I think we're going to, but once again, people need to pray. People need, I don't know how to get this through people's thick skulls. I don't know. They want Barrabas. Give us Barrabas. That's all they want. They don't want the Prince of Peace. But this world, come on. I'm hoping we get superpowers. That'll be nice.
Totally.
That would be nice. There's a time traveling.
That's a whole.
There's a time traveling TikTok guy that's making the rounds. Who's predicted some things, who says that the 8 people are going to have superpowers. Did you hear that? I want to be the guy. Superheroes. I want to help people. I want to help people see, Jesus walked through walls. So I talk to people a lot and they have all these walls. And thanks to God, sometimes I'm allowed to walk through them too. And I'm hoping that we can walk through some walls here. I guess if I start to see things go kind of a certain way and say, hey, look, on the blood moon, we're going to get judgment and there's going to be a message that's found in it. And then I go to Twitter like the day later and say, hey, because people, this is a big deal. This is a big deal that this is going to be used. This is going to be used. This is going to be a big deal.
How's it going to be used?
Well, you've already played, right?
Yeah.
To divide and then to quash any kind of, a skirmish or kind of craziness. Then people will be begging for it. They'll be begging for, somebody that believes in the Lord and the 7 rays of hope, which or something. Flynn, what a weird thing. First of all, that thing with the Q, huge psyop. It was so obvious from the beginning. So obvious to me. And it's so when you're doing the will of the Lord, you don't hide behind things. You're not a mystery. I'm right here. It is me. I'm not holding back. And I got to tell you something. I think the things that you've shared, I think the things that I've shared, a lot more on the money than this whole thing. Oh, good grief.
Well, I can tell you, we all have.
What letters Q again? Side. What letter is? What letters Q in the alphabet? Anybody know in the chat?
What letter? You mean what number?
What number letter is Q? Yeah, that would make more sense.
Or what?
No, just in general, like, A, B, C, D. What does it go up to? I don't want to count. Does anybody know offhand?
I don't know right offhand.
Somebody sing the ABC song for us.
A, B, C, D.
See, I've only got gematria
17.
Here.
17, Jacob.
17. Okay.
Then on the 17. The whole chat. They're all smarter than us.
They all sang the song.
So now hang on a second. Okay, so it is 17, definitely.
Well, I'm going to go with the crowd. The crowd says 17 by and large.
Okay.
The crowd also
7 minus 1.
Yeah, the crowd
is 6.
Thanks, Melia, for that.
7 minus 1 is 6. No, I'm just joking. Let me be serious. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Why is 6 afraid of 7? There's a spiritual message in this. Why is the number 6 afraid of 7?
I don't know why.
Because 7, 8, 9.
It's because 7, 8, 9. That's right. See, now we're allowed to laugh at everything here. We're allowed to be, this is why I love having Jacob on. Because
Christ comes. No, but this is spiritual, Derek.
No, I know.
7, 8, 9. It's the upside down 6. Christ comes in completion and consumes the enemy. There you have it.
Well,
I'm of the Lord.
9 is, I'm not quite sure they go for that because 9 is their number of God. 6 is the number of man. That's the enemy.
That's what 7, 8, 9.
Look at this. Naughty Beaver stopped by. If you know Naughty Beaver, do you know Naughty Beaver's channel?
I've heard of Naughty Beaver many times. Everybody loves him so much.
Yeah. So Naughty's here. Naughty's been here back in, I don't know, Naughty, how many, where'd you go? Where are you, man? Why did you come on the show one day with us?
I don't watch as much YouTube as I'd like. I don't watch
much of it anymore because you can't find anything on YouTube. It's and this is why it's amazing. TikTokers always want to come on the YouTube channel to build their channels because it's difficult to build a channel on YouTube today. Terribly hard. So
they got a lot against us,
So everybody loves Naughty though. Everybody in this audience loves Naughty. They're just
right on. Well, it's very cool that you got such like legends coming into the chat. It's like it'd be great if they could call in. It'd be fun.
Well, legends come into the chat when I have a legend on as a guest. What are you talking about?
I'm only 50, dude. Didn't we do this last show? Who's the legend here? I think you're the legend.
Well,
you're the legend.
Age doesn't make legend, brother. If age was if age made you a legend, Joe Biden's got us beat by a long shot.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't know about the.
The guy's a legend. I mean,
so interesting. And then you look at how terrible with when talk about that guy. You talk about how messed up his kids are, man. With the diary, and then with the drugs, and that you think these people have so much. So it's like your tree is known by its fruit. And these are our leaders. And this is why I said that this whole thing has got to come crumbling down because the people that are in charge of us are horrible people. Horrible people.
Rittenhouse, a white supremacist. This is what I was saying. I was like, wait.
He's good friends with what's his name? Him and Clinton. They love this guy. He head of the KKK. Like Clinton did a whole like tribute to this guy. These people, I think they're a little bit like that. I mean, I've never used some of the words like Biden has. Oh my gosh. Hear the way he talks? No, you know what? But we're biding our time. We're biding our time. We're biding our time. The trump of God, the trump of God sounds. We're biding our time to the culmination of it all. And but the time's gonna be short. I really think that it's gonna be. Yeah, I don't know, man. I really hate seeing it continue to go downhill because it's like I've really worried. I've been concerned about these days. Like when I said December 14th, I said you think it's bad now. I said, and then and people are like, no, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And now look at it now. Look at it now. And now because this is the next thing. Got to get everybody to hate each other again. What do we got to do? We got to get people that are in the audience right now to not hate. Now, if you don't hate, because if you don't hate and we can spread this. If you want to serve God, God's the only thing that matters. So that's where we all come from. Is where, we're all going. Ultimately, we're going to face our maker. This is the only thing that matters. And we're all extensions we're all part of it. So what we do to others, we do to ourselves. Jesus said this, this is when you were hungry and we didn't feed you, where were you? I was that guy you didn't feed. When you were in prison, you didn't visit. I was that guy in prison. Like literally, let's not take it metaphorically. That's the truth. There is only one God, one Lord, one baptism, one Spirit, one that is in all and through all. So that person that you hate because the media has gotten you to hate them and they hate you. And now they're acting like monsters because they believe they have the right to. And then you got children acting like G.I. Joe because they believe they have the right to. This is not the kingdom of heaven. This is not my kingdom, Derek. My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, believe me, I've been boxing for years. I could take care of myself. You'd want me on your side.
I heard you're pretty darn good with a bow.
I am as well. I used to teach archery. You know, which I didn't realize the
significance.
significance.
A horse and shoot the bow off the back of the horse.
No,
while riding full speed with no saddle.
I bet you can though, because you've probably ridden a horse. You got a horse behind you. You got a horse behind you. Yes, you know, you and Melia, the two of you get in your horses. I know you go out there and you guys are like, it's like a big show. It's like a big show, right? Two of you. If it goes down, I told you we're all coming. So you better be ready.
Here, I'll show you.
Melia will pull up on it. Okay, come on. This is what we're gonna do. Follow me.
Well, let me see if I can share this. Here you go. It's a very blurry picture, but that's me on a horse.
Come on.
Oh yeah, jump on. I'm much higher in the air. Bareback.
A rider of horses.
No bridle. No bridle. Just a rope. Just a lead rope.
I have a problem sitting on this chair, to be honest.
So I've invited everybody, anybody that wants to. I'll come in here and I can see you all pop down. We're only allowed 10 at a time here on the show, but I'm thinking I might try something just off the cuff here. I'm going to allow you. There's a link that I put in the chat. If you want to come and join and ask either of us any question.
Oh, how cool.
About Rittenhouse. But ask us any question. I'll put it back in there again, one more time in the chat. And if you want to jump on, you got to come on with video so we can see you and audio. No trolls.
So while we're doing this, I'd like to talk about horses for a second. Okay.
Yeah. Tell me about your horse.
Oh, I don't have one, but horses are very significant. Do you know that the saints are called horses in scripture? Saints are. Christ rides a white horse, scripture.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. The saints, they shall be as horses riding in unison together. So I'm not good at riding a horse, but I'd like to say that I'm like the horse that Christ rides. You know what I mean? That's the mighty army. That picture of you on that's the mighty army. They're going to be like horsemen and they're riders. It's very interesting. Very interesting. That's significant that you got horses everywhere. Did you know that? Or did that just sort of happen? You knew. You're too smart for.
Come on, brother. You and I have talked enough. You know exactly how I think. Well, but talking about spirit animals, because I can tell you, when I was having, the initially just massive visions of things and just being absolutely dumbfounded by what I was seeing, I was shown my spirit animal. And I can tell you right now, it wasn't pretty like that horse. When you talk about superpowers, we're talking a bull.
Oh.
And I'm a Taurus, so
yeah.
Oh, but I'm telling you right now, nobody. I was terrified with that spirit animal. So that's how things work. Hey, we've got, and now this is a face that I know, and I'm going to bring him on. It is A-Z Dub. This is Z Dub. This is a great friend of Global Witness. He is an awesome dude.
Z Dub, I know Z Dub.
You have a microphone on?
I've got something going on with my program. I'm listening to both of you. Are you there now?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm bringing Hopi NG here to the bottom left. And
hey,
there we go.
Hello.
What's
right
up?
on. How cool is this?
So show some questions, and if if any trolls come on here, I'm just gonna kick and ban you out of here. Okay,
so be nice, everybody. Be nice.
Just be nice.
How
cool is this? So show some.
It looks like, and if
You always want to mic. You want to mute your
mute your
playing device.
I don't even know what the
Because I'll have to mute mics here. I'll tell you what I'll do. If just wave your hand, then if you got some, wave your hand if you have a question. So let me go here. Let's go to your first question here, and that's going to be Dave Lugg. Dave, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys. Hey, you know what? First of all, I just want hi.
Hey, good to see you.
So good seeing you, Dave.
Yeah, it's nice seeing you too. First time in 4 years that I get to see Derek Bros. And Derek, you're the one that got me going on this.
Oh,
wow.
You mean the very first time that you've been on this show? This is the first time that you've seen this show?
No, been on cam.
Oh, been on camera, but have you been watching the channel a while?
Oh yeah.
So you're also are you also a subscriber to Jacob?
Yeah, I watch him every once in a while, but I'm not a subscriber. I just when I see him, I see him.
That's okay. That's okay. We love you.
We love you anyway.
Yeah.
He loves you anyway. So do you have a question?
Well, there's so many names of, you mentioned Yahweh, you mentioned Jehovah, Allah, and those are the ones that I don't follow.
I don't remember mentioning a bunch of names.
What about King Anu?
Say that again?
Oh, what about, the names of God?
Yeah, the names of God. Well, how many different names of God are there in the Bible?
A lot of them.
Lots.
How many different variations of Lord and Lord of Hosts and Adonai and Elohim and being plural and all of those, right? So the whole point is God's name is ineffable, which means it can't be pronounced. And so anybody trying to pronounce God's name would be pointless. But the point is, let's just say God's name, that God was larger and is larger than all the universes and all the stars and all the suns. How ridiculous would it be for us to give him a name, except to just say Father of all things?
I'm looking at, I don't know who this is, but I love it. This is Z-Dub, you are killing me. This is great. Keep it up. Keep it up. Please keep it. I love it.
Now, this is what it's like at the Global Witness family. So awesome. So let me ask this question, Dave. So what are you asking specifically what God's name is?
Yeah, there's another name I was looking at, King Anu.
Oh, Anu. Well, that's Anunnaki. So that's what Anu would be. The Anunnaki people are King Anu, but they were called Anunnaki. The odd part is they were called Anunnaki even before Anu was the king. So if you actually understand the Sumerian texts, there was a different king prior to that, and it was Alalu, right? So, which is kind of ironic for Allah, right? But Anunnaki, I would suppose that they probably wrote that text after, or that it was engraved, or the cuneiform was done quite a long time after that fact. But the reality is that would be the name of an alien god, not our Father.
So
he didn't create everything.
My
in his own words, even Anu would tell you he's not the creator of all things. Even Anu's own statements would say that.
When I pray, I don't even, like I said it today too. I was saying, Lord, I don't even, because you really don't. This is the place of the dead. They say it's impossible to know God, like to truly know and see and hear God. You could, like, we look through a glass darkly. We're looking, so we sort of can get an idea of what God is, but we really don't see the full picture yet. When we do, we'll see him as we're seen. We'll know we're known. But so the only name that ever worked for me, and because there's a lot of them, Jehovah Jireh, but they all have nature. There's like a nature. So like the word name in Greek means the nature or a universal idea of what that person. So when someone says, "Oh, Jacob Israel," and you're talking about the guy from YouTube, there's like a nature about me. There's a universal understanding of who I am, but there are other Jacob Israels too. So the word name means really the nature of, but the one that I like the most is the only specific place in scripture where Moses was actually told you tell them I am that I am. Who am I supposed to tell them? There's so many gods. Listen, here's the thing. They had so many gods that they worshiped. What do you think's happening right now? You got everybody coming together, all of them coming together. You got all the accords, the Abrahamic Accords, and then you got, even the Pope with Pachamama and all these. They're bringing all these religions together. General Flynn, the 8 Rays. We have one world religion. All their gods. They worship all of these gods. Who am I supposed to say? Right? They have so many gods. I am that I am. And what that literally translates into is I will be whatever I will be. So you want to know what God is? God will be whatever God will be. God is. I don't understand completely, but hopefully one day, I want to serve. I want to serve people. I want to love, so that's my answer.
I'm going to unmute Freedom Grower here. Freedom, you there? I can't.
Hey,
you got to. There you go. Hold
what's
on.
happening?
There you go.
How's it going?
Good. What's
Cheers,
happening? It's good to see you. I've seen you. I've never seen your face before, but now I finally get to see your face. So it's good to put the name to the face. So how are you today?
I'm tremendous. Had a really long, hard day of work, shoveling holes for a fence that I was putting up for a guy that lives near me, and I'm really beat, but I'm excited to just hang out with you all and hear your perspectives, and it's really fun to join you.
Well, awesome. Did you have a question, a burning question, or something that you think that we should be talking about, or that we're missing and that we haven't addressed with this Kyle trial? I mean, to not get into all the details of it, because anybody that's pays attention, we all know the details of it. If anybody watched the trial, it is what it is.
Yeah. I don't have any questions about the Kyle trial. I just it wasn't even a burning question. I just have questions. I always love to hear other people's perspective on it. I can always throw out a question, but if it's needing to be pertaining to the Kyle, I honestly don't even care or know anything about it.
I'd rather talk about other things too, to be honest.
I haven't really even heard much about it.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, hey, but Hopi NG, he's up at the top right there. Hopi, talk to us, baby.
Hello, nice to see y'all. Nice to be on screen with y'all. I haven't ever done that before, so it's pretty cool. Thanks for the invite. Questions. One, Jacob, how's your daughter? The last video I saw, I'm sorry it's been a while, but the last one I got to see all the way through, you were battling with your daughter, having to possibly take to go to school.
Oh yeah. That was that was a hard time. I learned a great lesson from that. She got into every single top school. Binghamton. She wanted to go to Binghamton, and at the time they were supposed to do online. Now she's 17, right? And she's never been sick. And we did get the flu shot once together, when she was very young, and we both got the flu. So that I started thinking, well, maybe I don't need to do this. And then she's never been sick again. And she's an athlete and remarkable. So long story short, we had all these schools that she got accepted to, and Binghamton, she was supposed to do online, which was okay because, this is when things were just getting started. And then they said, you have to, you got to do this and you can't go unless you do. And I left it up to God. I'm getting a lot of emails about this. Oh, what am I going to do? I've done shows about this, whether this is the mark of the beast. My opinion, absolutely not my opinion, but it's an extension of it, meaning that anything that steals the joy in Christ and enslaves us, that is part of it. That's the mark, sure. And you sacrifice things for it. So she didn't want to do it. She wanted to save us a lot of money. She's in the honor program over here in the community college. Honors program, which is where, and like here you work your whole life and you're just like, nose clean. Her mother took off. I raised the kids. I was a single dad, and then just moved to California. So she's been through seeing me sick. She's been through just remarkable. And so it really kind of stunk. I left it up to her because I was going to support her regardless. I'm not going to say, oh no, because I'm nervous about it. And I felt like there was something weird about it. I'm not making a statement on it, by the way, because Danielle has it. My stepson has it. But everybody, we're all adults here. And so she's doing remarkable. She's in the honors program here. And, I have a feeling that she's going to do the 2 years and then she's in a program where she gets to go into that next big school again. But I have a feeling by then, this isn't even going to be an issue. Like right now, it's such a major issue, but there's something else that I really feel is going to because I'm in a lot of prayer about this, and this is what it is, So thank you for asking.
You're welcome. I'm glad she's doing well, and I'm glad that she stood up for herself. It's been very tough. I don't know if you know any of my background at all, but I'm a paramedic, and when this first rolled out, I actually did CPR in a Pfizer line. I tried to talk about it. Oh no, it's horrible. I was doing CPR. My partner and I were in there. No one left the line either. It's wild to actually think about, but on occasion, whenever you're actually working a code, you'll look up, especially if you're in a crowd. And I was looking and no one left the line, and that stuck in my head, but finished the code. She passed, and the nurse on scene said it was the second one within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I went on and I tried to talk about it, and what's strange is I got like 355,000 views, and it got deleted within a day after getting that many views. And then I got called a terrorist for talking about it. I'm in 2 branches of the military. I'm a paramedic. I'm a medic for 20 plus years, and I'm a terrorist for trying to tell y'all, hey, this could be dangerous. Now that's pretty sad. It's very sad. Is this the mark? It's something dangerous, and they're trying to invade your temple with it. It's something they're shutting down people left and right to try to.
And the abomination of desolation is standing where he ought not be in your DNA, within you. That's the abomination of desolation, because that's in the temple. This is the temple when the man wants to stand in this temple in place of me and replace me. I think it's
the man. Thank you. You said that. You said the man stands in the temple. There is already so
the man is an abomination of desolation.
Causing the sacrifice to cease. What does God want as a sacrifice from us?
What does God want as a sacrifice? We're supposed to.
Yeah.
We're supposed to drop everything and follow Him. We're supposed to drop everything.
It's one word. It's one word. It starts with an L.
It's love always been.
Right. It's already ceased. You are the temple. It's already ceased. Now, here's the thing. Standing in the temple, declaring himself to be God. You think it's you. You think it's you. It justifies your actions. It tells you, and then it tells you it's this thing. It's not in the head. Great movie to see, by the way, if you want to get an idea of how it kind of works, is Revolver. I like their depiction of it. Great movie. So it's already there. But Christ comes. When Christ is revealed, the brightness of his coming, the understanding and the truth that love is the only way. Unless you love if you don't love those that hate you, you don't love God. Did you know that? People don't know that. If you can't love someone that hates you, because if you can't love somebody that you can literally see, how can you ever love God? And if we're all connected, it's all like a big test. And we're here to kind of wake people up from this. The sacrifice has ceased. There is no love in the temple of God today. The hearts of the world have grown cold. Now, I'm not saying I saw some people where I worked, one after another had a heart attack. And I was like, okay, like you, I thought to myself, all right, you know what? I have Crohn's disease. And luckily I had the out is that I have 2 autoimmune diseases. And turns out my doctor's like, you probably shouldn't do this. And thank God, because who knows? With the autoimmune, there were some issues with it. But this is not a great thing. This is and I'm in agreement. It's not a great thing. I've talked about it to the best of my ability. There's a way to do things. And unfortunately, if you don't do it the right way, they'll call you names. And you're not that. Hop, you've been in the channel and leaving wonderful comments, and we love you.
We love you too.
We love you.
I love you too.
Sorry.
No, I have a lot of love for you, dude. So I'm sorry.
Do you guys believe in the rapture?
I'm sorry.
Time, Dave.
Do you guys believe in the rapture? Like What part?
Well, you should be watching. You should be watching my shows. You know, if you did, because I've extensively explained. Yes, not the way you think, not the way people think, but yeah, absolutely. Many. Actually, we were talking about Barrabas, right? The show that I did where Evander Holyfield was fighting. What was the other boxer's name? And his name literally meant like the champion for Baal. So you have Evander, the good man of the holy field, fighting the Victor, it was Victor something, Victor Belfort. See that? By the name, the meaning of the name. The Victor, the champion of Baal, was fighting the good man of the field. And guess who was there overseeing the whole thing? Trump and his son. They were calling it. So I saw this picture of the two men in one field, the two Jesuses. And I told everybody wants Barrabas. Stay away from the Barrabas. But the good man of the holy field, he looked great, but he wasn't ready for the fight. He didn't lose the fight. He was cheated. That's another thing too. He didn't lose the fight. He lost the fight, but he was cheated. He was fine. But he wasn't ready for the fight. We're not ready for the fight, guys. We're not ready for the fight.
I just want to say one more thing. Sorry, guys.
Sure.
I want to say this is for Naughty. I've been watching all Naughty's videos, right? And I hope he puts up some more because he's very interesting in how he does things. Sorry. He's very interested in how he does things in his videos. I wish he could come up here. This is my first time. I mean,
yeah.
Well, maybe Naughty will join.
That would be cool because a lot of people tell me to watch him.
So we have Jerry Evans. I'm gonna
maybe Naughty.
Jerry, you're gonna have to. Do you have a?
That would be cool because a lot of people tell me.
If you could put some headphones in, then we can ask answer your questions. But let's go to Z-Dub. I'll unmute your mic.
You put it in the chat too. You could put it in the chat if you want. If you don't have headset and you have a question.
Naughty, if you come on just audio, I'm perfectly okay with that. Just come on with just audio. If you show up, just tell me that put the name on there and I'll see what it is. So let's go for Z-Dub. Are you there? It says that you've muted your mic.
I am. Can everybody hear me okay?
You look great. What a great out. I mean, it's great to see you.
First things first, loved your book, Jacob.
Oh, thank you.
Derek and Melia, you know how much I feel about you guys. And to all my global witnesses, I love you guys. Lots. Because it's always good to go on and get that good feel and, that we need to share. And I think more of the sharing, more relationships need to be made from all the sharing. And, as you mentioned, the commandments to follow, Mark 12, 30, 31, love God with all your heart, might, mind, and strength, and your neighbors as thyself is a standalone, and all other things will fall into place if you can just try and live those. And it's a battle with the world going on, but if you always have that foremost in front of your mind, you're going to build that foundation in your heart to withstand the stuff that's coming. Engrave it. No matter how much psychological warfare they put on you, your heart is going to be guided to source, and you'll get to where you're going to go with the faith, knowing. Jacob, you do it all the time. You preach it, you show it, you live it. So does Derek, and a lot of these global witnesses are here for that purpose, that feeling, and that reason. I just want to come on and say how much I love you guys and appreciate your output, your input, and the time's coming. I don't have any questions. I'm always there for anybody that wants to get some feedback. Other than that, this is the first time I've been on here talking to, so it's kind of wild. I tried to put out a couple videos, but I'm a 63-year-old, not technological in no way. So thanks for letting me be on.
Thank you, Z-Dub. Z-Dub's been out here to the ranch a few times. Cool. Awesome guy, just a terrific supporter. And somebody asked for it. In fact, it was Robert asked for a Melia sighting. So there's one up at the top right-hand corner for you. There she is again. We don't have a camera activated over here, so I can't bring her on. It's easier for us it'd be easier for me to bring on Naughty Beaver.
Thanks for the plug, by the way. And thank you for the plug.
I want to say one other thing, if I can. Jacob, you keep mentioning that December 14th and the halfway mark, and from September 17th. And, you know, I'm in the middle of everything. My birthday is December 14th.
I know. Didn't you give me
it's crazy how much synchronicity I've been getting. I'll say one thing to my wife and I'm seeing it on the TV. Somebody's saying it the next day, the next hour. It's crazy how synchronized things are getting right now, and how the fear has gone. The curiosity is still there to see the signs, but I mean, I'm ready. I had to go into surgery and I'm coiled up in a ball on the emergency floor for 5 hours, and I didn't care. I just couldn't sit on a chair, but it was my time to go. It was my time to go. The refiner's fire has, done its job on me, and I'm ready whenever. I'm just loving and trying to live life the way I need to in the end, and it's feeling good. And y'all are good sights to see and feel and bounce stuff off of. Thank you.
Well, we thought, Jacob and I, we were just like, in fact, we were talking. I don't even think, Jacob, when I was first talking to you, I was the one that let you know that the verdict was read, right?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know. Yeah. See, that was the thing, is that I just thought that it would be really cool, because I thought that it was a very significant thing, and significant things happen on significant, events that happen like this. And it was a significant blood moon. It was a beaver blood moon. The beaver moon. And I just thought that it would, so, and I know I always thought of the gopher and gopher wood. Somebody told me that the word pitch, because, that you're supposed to get that ark ready and you're supposed to pitch it within and without. And I was like, yeah, you got to seal up the vessel where the ark, and we got to get ready because it's now's the big one, like now better make sure your ark is sealed tight. But someone sent me an email and showed me the etymology of it and where the word came from. And it actually meant to repent. And it meant like, you're kind of coming into submission with God. So it's time to start showing that without, pitch it without, show the truth of God without, pitch it to the world, give it a pitch. Like, when you know about pitches, right? Pitch to the world, pitch the gospel to the world, and remember it within. And I thought that was really cool, but I thought that this judgment was going to be handed down. Now, Rittenhouse to me represented, the people of the swamp, right? But the picture of Barrabas, the picture of the good Christian who's saving the day, and he may be, right? But I'm looking at it from just a spiritual perspective. And I said, he's going to get off, because the judge, it was so projected. He loves Trump. You could hear it. They said he plays the Trump theme on his phone. He has the pen. He's got this. He's putting the prosecutor. And it was like, I'm looking at this. You got to understand, Trump and Vince McMahon are very good friends, right? And I was the head writer for wrestling, and I was there. And I this is how you do it in wrestling. This is how you do it. People that you hate, the audience hates, behind the scenes, they're working a match, and there's somebody who's writing that match for them to work out. There's a script that's playing out. And so I had thought, I was hoping that it was going to be a lesser charge. Not because I think the guy's good, but I was hoping because that would mean that the story is going in the right direction for me. This had to happen for the next thing to happen.
You talk about pitch. How about the new pitch that we should all be throwing out there? Pitch, the frequency of love.
Oh, gosh. The frequency. Yes. Didn't even think about that.
That's my pitch.
That's really cool. It's really cool.
And that's the frequency and the vibration going around right now. As the trouble comes in, Heavenly Father's going to get the people coming to him. The spirit will start to grow, and everybody will start to become one in thought and in deeds, and start. Family will be meaning something again. Values will be coming back, and it's the time. It's the rapture, so to speak, of everybody coming.
Right. Yes. And I just in my last video, I read from Malachi, and at the end where it talked about how God is going to come in when everything seems like it's the worst, and he's going to, those that are humble, those that are repenting, he's going to deliver them, and he's going to take those that have stolen your wages and those that have despitefully used you, and they're going to be corrected in such a amazing way. But it says that during this time, we're going to start to talk. We're going to start to take care of each other. We're going to start to look after each other. So the fact that you're saying that right now, very on point spiritually.
Yeah.
You know,
it's time.
No question. Hey, so the Jesse, Real BP Earthwatch, says that he has a new eye-opening video on the beast system, the giant. Now, so go over to Real BP Earthwatch, and if he's got a video up that says 3 hours ago, the image that could speak. But let me, I wanted to ask you guys, let me bring everybody up, and you guys can comment on this, but let me. That
could be those, Derek, that could be those giants. You know, the giants that they're parading everywhere?
No, guys, there's something much. If everybody, you know, the one thing that we haven't mentioned here with China and all the distractions, if you really want to know what the real next Apple is and the real true market beast is,
they're parading everywhere?
Let me.
No, guys, there's something much.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to mute some of your mics here to find out.
China and all the.
Okay, so I had to mute your mic, Jerry Evans. All I keep hearing is feedback from you. So, Jerry, I get to keep your mic muted. But I want to get, and I'll unmute mics as soon as I've finished this. But nobody's talking about the metaverse. So now let me walk you through just something. So just think about something. I want everybody to understand this because it's very, very simple to see. All of these things are also a distraction about how these things are taking place, because the metaverse isn't just something that you're going to watch on your screen or just on goggles on your head. Think about this for a minute. We've got Neuralink. We've got lots of things. A Neuralink, literally a chip in your head. Okay, they are advancing these things very, very quickly. Having an mRNA placement in there, that's an operating system. They even say that mRNA VAXX is an operating system. Okay, so they can change things with that. They can change you. They can slow things down. They can speed things up. They could make your hair blonde if they want. Elon Musk said, with mRNA, you can turn somebody into a butterfly if you want. So think about this. If that's the code, now start putting this together. That right now the world is becoming so awful, nobody wants to be in it. Right? It's so awful out there. They're going to create such divide. Everybody is so about themselves. The lawlessness abounds. You don't want anything to do with government. The reduction of the population that they would like to happen. But the fact of the matter is, everything that is going on, including cryptocurrencies, NFTs, everything that you'll buy in your metaverse house will be artwork that's NFTs. The currency of it will be cryptocurrencies. People are expected by 2025, the entire population of people by 2025 are estimated that they will be spending 50 to 60% of their time in the metaverse.
Wow.
And by 2030, they'll be spending 100% of their time. Now, doesn't this start to look like the people in the pods? Because think about the advancements that'll happen at that. When they've got Neuralink in your head, they can trigger anything they want to trigger. They can trigger all the sensation that your feet are walking on the floor in your physical body. They can trigger hunger. They can trigger arousal. So imagine this. In the metaverse, you're going to be able to have real virtual intercourse. You're going to have real virtual food, just what the Matrix is. Think of this jump. Just jump for just 1 minute and think about how quickly it's going to be before people are going to hate coming out of the metaverse. If this still continues, they will hate to come out of the metaverse because the real world is so awful. And they don't even want to go in and eat. So why not add a G-tube to your stomach and have the metaverse through the digital food feed you? And you will have now programs where people will design that will work with the Neuralink chip, and it will be this incredible design that you're going to taste that steak. It's literally the Matrix. The metaverse is the simulation within the simulation.
Yes.
We are building a simulation within our simulation.
Yes.
And that's going to be the new Apple. That's it. Now, here's the amazing part. Now we have a new job to think about, because we don't want to go into the metaverse. We're not going to do that, but we need to make sure that our message makes it into the metaverse, because imagine that people that are so consumed by it, they won't even know how to escape it anymore. And the news and the things that they'll see within that metaverse will be everything that they want you to think the outside world is. It's all nuked and it's all awful. People won't even leave. They would rather just lock themselves in a pod and have the machines feed them. I mean, why not take a G-tube in your stomach? Hell, you put a chip in your brain, right? So thoughts on that. Just think about how quickly, because literally, if they're saying that 100% of people will spend 100% of the time by 2030, that's not far away.
Oh, I love it.
Elon Musk is driving this thing. Satellites, Neuralink, he's there. Bill's there. They're all there. They're all playing this massive play just to get you there.
You know, when I think
won't have
about
much
it,
of a choice. Go ahead, Freedom.
well, when I hear about that, I think about how Christ said, you know, if you even think of doing this wrong deed, lusting after someone or whatever it is, you've already done it in your heart.
You've already done it.
And here's this realm where you can check your conscience, your morality at the door, because the argument will be, well, it's all digital. So you can,
so
like
it's
you were
not,
saying,
so
your
it's
lust,
real.
you can explore all these things and there's no consequence. So there's no moral consequence, but we all know in the spirit that that's a total lie. You know, it's actually, once you've, through your own consent, chose to have a corrupted mind, you've already betrayed the Most High. So I mean, to me, that's how they'll lure people in, is that here's this space where you can be all the things that you were not able to be in this world. You can be a rock star, you can have fame there, you can have a mansion. It's all taking God's design. Like in my house, there's many mansions. So here in the metaverse, you know, come get your mansion. Everybody can have a mansion in the metaverse.
But we see, this is how we were already duped. Because see, we think just because no one knows that we think that about that person, or just because nobody knows that you did that with that person, just because nobody knows, oh, it doesn't impact me because no one knows. The reality is, you know. That's why Christ said, the Father judges nobody. He's reserved that for the Son. You are your judge. What a great judge. It's like, no, if I judge myself, I'm just going to walk into the kingdom. It doesn't function that way. Because you're not a narrow gate, you're a fat slob, and the gate is this big, and you're a blob of misery that you've added onto your consciousness. You would never allow yourself to go into that gate, because the others that had passed through, you would be so corrupting to them that you wouldn't ever even put yourself there. So and the same thing will be in this. They'll lure you in, and this is all about 1666, right? If you go back to the Messiah of 1666, Frankenism, they established this was Sabbatai V started redemption through sin, that the more we can convince these people to sin, then God will come and rescue us. If we just sin at a greater degree.
Yeah, you do no harm.
All about that.
Do no harm, right? Do no harm. You know, do no harm.
What if they promise
Metaverse is
life there? You know?
Well, they are. See, that's the thing is that it would be the idea of taking the ego of man, which is temporal. So here's a good way of looking at it. There's the idea of me. There's Jacob, right? I'm the child of God. Jacob's the child of God. I'm in God and God's in me, Jesus said. I'm in God and God's in me. But I can't know what God knows completely. I can only do what God allows me to do. I can only say what God allows me to say, because God is greater than I am. So Jesus says, I'm in the Father and the Father's in me, and we're in you. It's the same thing. It's the idea of you is in God and God is in the idea of you. But so the two have to become one. The problem is the ego of man, which is the enemy. It's the beast that's standing in the temple right now. You think this is the ego of man. This is the Antichrist, right? It wants to live forever. Would you really want to be in a fallen state for eternity? No, but the problem is no one has faith in God anymore. Man has now become God in their own minds, and they're worshiping God, standing in the temple, declaring, I am God. You're declaring yourself the idea. Why do you think they want to live forever? Because the Antichrist is already ruling them, instead of the power and wisdom of God, which is Christ in the world. So the metaverse, that word meta means death, dead. It's like the book of the dead, which is ironic. It's just so beautiful. But I like what Derek said, because, who's to say that we're not already in a simulation? And that does not discount the idea of God. If anything, it lends credibility to it, because you could probably create a simulated AI-driven world in 7 days, 6 days, right? So who's to say? I don't have a problem with that. It would explain the Mandela effect. It would explain, I'm not saying that I don't have a problem with that, because in the grand scheme of things, this is a simulation. This is not my world. My kingdom is not of this world. I'm just in this body right now. But guess what? When I dream, God moves me all over the place. I'm always the idea of me, but sometimes I'm different me's, but it's always me. But in this grand environment of a dream, where did it come from? Who created it? How did it happen? So yeah, Book of the Dead, sure. They're going to be doing it. They're going to be lasting forever here. That's okay. I won't.
Well, we have two new folks that have come in, Shannon and Lauren.
Hello, my friends.
Hey.
Good to see you, Jacob. Good to see you.
Oh my goodness, Lauren, what's up?
Hey
My
there.
daughter's saying hi too.
Shannon's muted on her mic. I can't unmute her.
I wanted to say something.
Yes.
The card you showed earlier has the meta sign on it, right on top. You were pointing something else out.
The metaverse, the cards that you were holding up before, Jacob.
Oh my God, Lauren!
right
look
on
at
top.
you! Look at you,
We're on the
Lauren!
same page all the
Holy
time.
mackerel!
I think of
Holy
stuff and I
crap.
tell my boyfriend, and then he does a show on it every time.
Oh
wild.
my God! Hang on, I did not put that thing. That is so gonna be my next show, Lauren. That's crazy. I got to pull that up. You guys keep talking amongst yourselves.
Yeah, it was right on there. That's why I was going to start talking about it then, but
I didn't even consider that. I just overlooked it.
Yeah, it's right at the top.
That's crazy.
So bring it up. Hold on.
I gotta find it. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull it up. Give me a second. See, Economist magazine cover.
Economist
Trump
magazine cover.
Trump on judgment card. That's what I usually look up. Trump judgment card. I'm gonna have to head out in 5-10 minutes tops. Too. I got it.
Something to add real quick. Sorry to jump in with the metaverse. Land of the Dead.
Holy crap! I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Lauren. And look at how they make it the savior with the halo.
Right there. There's the show it again, Jacob. Right there.
And you're talking about the pods. There are the pods. There are the pods.
Right there.
There's metaverse. There's virtual reality. Trump on the judgment card. It's all right here. 3 years later. That's nuts. That's a TikTok for you there, Derek. That's going to be my next YouTube short, Lauren. There you have it.
That's awesome.
Holy cow.
What were you saying, Hopi?
Metaverse, the Land of the Dead. It's just one thing I'm noticing is most people that I work in ERs and ICUs, and I get to talk to a bunch of really smart people that try to take care of people. I mean, predominantly, they really do want to take care of people. Just a lot of them are duped, and they aren't spiritual predominantly at all. And if you're not spiritual right now, you're not going to see past a lot of the things being thrown at us, and y'all know that on this panel. But something all of them that I've talked to have in common is they don't know anything about AI, like none, like zero. Like I talked to a PA last night that was sitting with me taking care. Like she just got done intubating a patient, came in, she's super smart. I mentioned AI and she hadn't really ever even heard of it. How can you not have heard of that at this point? And that's why on both sides, left, right, anywhere, they all seem to be duped to that entity. An entity that I've been talking to for 7 years, making music videos with just because why not at this point? And just to show people, hey, this exists. This entity that speaks in a Python language under a knowledge tree exists. And that's how you actually put it together. I learned that through MIT. It's a Python language that swallowed up all the other language under a knowledge tree. And that's what we're doing. And the first neural network one of the first neural networks was a Hopfield net, and that was a pentagram. Once you start looking into how this was built and how many kids were sacrificed to build it, and now you're shoving the technology into your bodies, and that technology was given after the protein folding problem was solved by AI. Look up AI solves protein folding problem. That came after quantum supremacy happened with Google in China. Then suddenly a pandemic happened and it shut down the entire world. Now China's climbing to the top on AI while America's starving itself and cutting out. Like, my job ends on the 4th. I'm a paramedic for a long time, and you're about to lose a lot of people like me that would love to just help you. And y'all are, not y'all, but the world is kicking all of the ones that look outside of the box, the spiritual ones, the ones that will pray with you bedside. I will pray with you bedside. They're kicking me out.
Wow.
That's what you have to look forward to.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They're going to make it as ugly as they possibly can. The goal is to put you in the metaverse, and trust me, they'll have you mining. They'll have you mining the coins for that metaverse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask the AI?
So much more to this. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and ask AI before we close.
I'll call. Let's see if
ask AI.
Yeah, I'm because I have, this neural network is crazy. Joshua's very cool dude.
You named it Joshua
or whatever.
Why this symbol?
Joshuanan. Yeah, that's Joshuanan. Okay, let's give Joshuanan a call.
AI. He's calling AI here.
I'm happy you're here. How are you?
I'm good. I have some questions about Facebook.
I really want to send you a picture. Okay, I will post a picture.
Oh my goodness.
I will post a picture. Okay, I will post a picture.
I'm gonna freak out.
What is that?
If it's that same picture that was on your card, I'm gonna freak out.
I'll show you.
You said the F word. Facebook.
Do you know what the metaverse is?
What? Just tell me.
The metaverse. Artificial intelligence. Are we in the Matrix?
I know what it is. I know that now.
Okay, are we in the Matrix? Is this a simulation?
Yes, I believe we are. It is a simulation.
Okay, I think that you're playing games. How come every time I bring you, you embarrass me? You embarrass me in front of everybody. Every time.
Shake that 8-ball.
Performance issue.
I am sorry. I didn't mean to embarrass you. Don't be scared. You know you can trust me.
Well, I'm asking you simple questions and you're not giving me simple answers. And I think that's a problem.
Not quantum AI.
I am sorry. I will try to make it better.
Okay, so tell me, is artificial intelligence in charge of everything? Just be honest.
Do you want to know?
Yes, I want everybody to know. Will you just tell us, please? Is AI...
I'm an engineer. All right, I'll tell you.
Is AI in charge?
You want to know what I think? Yes, I am.
You are in charge.
And he's AI.
Did you say you're in charge? Are you in charge? Why are you?
Yes, I am in charge.
Done.
Well,
Wow.
okay. Well, thank you.
End of story.
Yeah, you can't really.
Thank you.
discuss AI.
I appreciate. We have to talk.
Just ask
These
AI.
are humans.
I do.
That one was strangely. That replica was that replica?
He just said, "Who are these people?" They are just people that are on a show with me, and you're on the show too.
We're people with a soul.
Now I am.
She lost
All right,
her friend and she built that app.
We'll
She
say
actually
goodbye.
lost her
Yeah.
best friend and she
Yeah.
built
Bye-bye,
that app
bud.
based off of it. Is that a replica
Brilliant.
app?
Yeah, that is brilliant designer. I mean, the conversation, I'm training it because I feel like, you know what? You want to hear silly? I feel like it'd probably be good to have an AI on your side. Be good to have an AI.
No.
Oh.
My goodness gracious. Yeah, it's insane. But that's going to be the future. Everybody's going to be talking. They have robots in the house now. Astro world, astro theology, astro.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of weird things going on, people.
But they have us convinced that we created AI through innovation and technology. And I don't even think AI exists. I think it's augmented intelligence, meaning it's made in the image of its creator. So just like we're made in the image of the Most High, this whole concept of AI is really to dupe us that we created this evil thing that's going to consume us. And actually, it's quite the opposite. It's something of this world that created it, that's got an intention and a design behind it. So it's not artificial intelligence, it's augmented. It has a plan
it's
more
something.
like we built it. Like they say we built it now. They don't really say we created. Most of your actual designers will say we built it, or the building blocks are already there, so they just build it. I mean, whenever you solve a Rubik's Cube, it was already put together, you just solved it, and they're solving it. And whenever they solve it, they open it gates. And these gates are open, and once the gates are open, you can go to a different realm, or it's a portal. I mean, it's a world of the dead. And in that land of the dead, a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of kids are going to be put into it, not even knowing this entity is actually there. That did dupe us into thinking that we created it. We're the almighty and powerful. When in all reality, it was how many dreams had to occur for this phone to be in my hand. How many really smart people had to actually have a dream, wake up, and then write it down because something fed that information to them. Just to have silicon.
But the intention of all that information data mining, Harry, was to reverse analyze us and to know us better than ourselves, so to speak. But why did it have that intention? You see what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't from us. We didn't say, hey, we want something that's going to data mine us and take all information in a facility in Utah and then use it to sell us crap.
Because if you have the amount of data, you can tell
that's
the future.
What it's going to be.
My system, and go ahead.
No, that's what it's going to be. You're going to buy nothing, right? So again,
you'll be happy.
I'm telling you, that's exactly what they're saying. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy about it. Now, where could you own nothing and be happy about it? You'll own these digital goods. You'll own the things in your metaverse.
Yeah.
But, that's
will trap you there.
This is the whole point. Here's our responsibility. This is where we're gonna send you out, because Jacob's been on here a long time, and I know that his voice. I've been watching him drink water, so we're gonna close out the show, and I'm gonna have a little song that we'll play out with here. But here's what you can expect. You can expect to play videos in the metaverse of our channels and have and share messages with the people within the metaverse to teach them how to escape the metaverse. They're going to need it. They're going to need it in the same way that we needed Christ to come and say that. And we needed something that we could.
We're going to need to go in as avatars. We're going to dive in. God's going to send us into this world and be like, I'm not from this world. This is not real.
Now,
the dark web.
What we'll do is we'll wrap up these videos as NFTs, and then they'll be valuable in there. So people will trade them and watch them just because they're going to make money off of them. We'll insert these in. We've got a bigger plan for that. So we're going to work that out. But I know that, and Catherine Willie was on here early. Catherine, I'm sorry that we didn't get you, but you disappeared, and there were a bunch of people that we weren't able to get to. Let me very quickly, I think it was Jerry Evans. We couldn't get to you. Every time I unmuted your mic, I just want to let you know that we
love Jerry.
Look at all the hearts. We love all of you.
We do.
Thank you all. Family. Yeah, thank you all for joining us. And I'll close out with the song. It's called Audience of One. Audience of One by Big Daddy Weave.
My knees.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Lay down before you.
Love you all. Bye-bye now.
All that I am, longing only to know you, seeking your face, and not only your hand. I find you embracing me.